of the corner flag, Demir Kulash. Demir, we saw Heidelberg romp into the final 5-0 last night against Hume City. What are your thoughts ahead of what promises to be a very interesting match tonight between two modern arch-rivals of the NPL?
Pleasure to be here, Teo. Look, I think tonight's game will be a much tighter contest than what we saw last night. Certainly Heidelberg coming off the back of two very disappointing defeats, having scored no goals, conceded 5 for a pretty defensively resolute team. Was a bit of a surprise to see them emerge 5-0 victors against a Hume side that doesn't really concede too many goals themselves and haven't been in the worst of forms. But yes, definitely a very dominant performance from the Burgers, and I guess George Katsakis and his men will eagerly await to see who they face in the final. Expect tonight's encounter to be fiery as they always are between these two teams. We've had plenty of red cards, flashpoints in the past few encounters over the past couple of seasons, so expect no different tonight, particularly what's on stake.
Let everyone know that you're watching the Dockerty Cup semi-final. It's an 7:30 Melbourne kickoff. We've just been delayed by a few minutes. Jack Edwards reserve, and it's Bentleigh Greens in green attacking the left of your screens. South Melbourne in the blue attacking the right of your screens. It's the Dockerty Cup semi-final, more than 100 years of history, and the two most recent winners of the Cup kick us off here at Jack Edwards. As you say, it did work out quite well for them last time. Ball at the edge of the box. Honos. Ruthven, and cleared off the post. Finds Litvin, time to turn. South Melbourne defence back in position. Litvin sprays it wide. Brennan. High ball from Brennan. Thurtell can't quite get underneath it. Honos will follow it in. Honos flashes it across the face, and it did get a deflection, so he's able to get a corner for his trouble.
But even from the point of view of last year's Cup final,
here's Daly. Oh, nice jink on the ball. Daly, oh, saved by Scott. Got his arms up and the reflexes were sharp. Able to parry it out for a corner.
Tactical now during the course of a game that might be missed. As far as I can see, I don't also see John Gabrielson, the assistant.
Header, just wide. Nearly the Bentleigh Greens opener. Free kick over on the right side to be taken by Honos. Honos strikes the free kick. Header from Jankovic, and out it goes for a goal kick well over the bar. Gets to it over in the opposite corner, and now wheels back. Wants his right foot. Brennan left his opponent behind. Cut back. Holmes can't make good contact with the ball, and Jesse Daly is able to take it away. Jankovic with a long diagonal ball looking for Brennan. Norton set himself best. Header though, straight to Tyson Holmes. Holmes cuts around Norton. Looking for Thurtell, and the ball is able to be controlled at ground level. Didn't get any power on the header, but he's still got it at his feet here, Thurtell. To Ruthven. Loose touch, has to go and chase the ball back down. Bentleigh controlling possession. Can they turn it into a shot on goal? That's a late challenge from Schroen. And we had a pretty good angle of it here, Demir. It's not a surprise at all that it's been met with a yellow card.
Yeah, and he definitely won't endear himself to the Bentleigh players. You could see potentially a Portugal-Germany semi-final, because I do believe that the Chileans will beat Germany tonight.
Here goes Brennan. And that had plenty of sting, but no direction. Gee, really got that one to fire off the boot.
John Anastasiadis was quite scathing of the pitch.
Barker Moreno, parried by Scott. No one following in for South, and he's Panther-like in his desperation to dive on the ball and grab hold of it. You heard the shouts of shoot, shoot coming through the effects microphone. They know Barker Moreno fancies himself from distance. South fans are looking for Matt Miller. South stretching the Bentleigh backline here. Miller cuts it back. Fashini, back heel. What a goal this would be. Parried. And Barker Moreno watches it roll out for a corner. Great save by Scott. And he's prevented himself going into the highlight reels around the country there, because that would have been, hey, A-League fans, this is what South Melbourne can do in the FFA Cup. 15 seconds of stoppage time to go now. Barker Moreno, and coming through, Archibald able to clear. Maybe one last hurrah. Norton sends it long, and that should do it here at Jack Edwards Reserve. We are goalless at half-time. Demir Kulash, we are waiting for our opener. Extra time looming. Thoughts, please, on the first 45 minutes. The teams on the pitch, as I don't believe there have been Any subs here at the start of the second half as that whistle gets us underway. South Melbourne kick us off and it's back to their goalkeeper Nikola Reganovic. Once more for the Bentleigh Greens, Tyson Holmes. Drives it central, bit of pushing going on. Rutherford missed the ball and now it slides over to the sideline. Loves to cut in, does Brennan. And tried to take on Pavlu, couldn't find a way past. Dangerous ball. Thurtell turns it into the path of Brennan and he bowls over Reganovic.
I think that's a yellow card. I think the ball was gone there and Brennan could have definitely gotten himself out of the way there, but he charged out at Reganovic.
And now Pavlu headed clear and out by Yankovic. Honos finds Thurtell. Great pass. Thurtell! Bentleigh into the lead. What a ball from Honos. And Matt Thurtell, clinical in that sort of situation. The Bentleigh Greens lead. 1-0. South Melbourne fall behind.
Fantastic vision from Lambros Honos to pick out Matt Thurtell with a fantastic through ball. And then the Queenslander made no mistake, ran towards goal and really just seemed to have a lot of space, a lot of time. And in the end, it was an expert finish from one of the league's best marksmen.
That's what he's known for. Matt Thurtell has a happy history of scoring on this ground too.
Look, I think based on what happened last week, you would say that Port have the confidence and also...
Greens on the attack. Brennan loads up a volley, sends it into the night sky. South Melbourne starting to run out of time here. Bentleigh Greens holding a 1-0 lead thanks to Matt Thurtell's goal in the 55th minute. As we see Holmes given space to run and shoot, and it takes a deflection. He's still on here. Holmes! Bentleigh Greens with 1 foot in the Dockerty Cup final. Tyson Holmes has scored for 2-0. And the Greens' dream of back-to-back is well and truly alive.
Fantastic intuition there from Tyson Holmes. Really, he looked to have run into a roadblock in that South Melbourne defender, but he kept on fighting, was quick to pounce when he did notice a moment of indecision by, can't remember who this South man was. Was it Luke?
That's Michael Eager there.
Michael Eager there, and he finished expertly past Nick Reganovic. Of course, a goal against his old club is always to our left, and have they given up on their team already, or?
They might have just moved. Brennan, saved by Reganovic. That would have been curtains. Attack stays alive. Brennan cuts it back. It's beyond the lunge of Thurtell. Honos through traffic. And it's saved by Reganovic to keep the score at 2-0. But 83 minutes ticked over. 7 plus stoppage to go. Thurtell, Bentleigh looking perhaps more likely for a third than South to peg one back at the moment. Rutherford, left-footed flyer, and puts it high and wide over the top left. Just out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was.
But Oakley, as we see a rugby challenge here from Barker Moreno, and he gets himself a rather obvious yellow card. Oakley have been able to beat South here at Jack Edwards, but South Melbourne have really made a habit of beating Oakley and beating them well at Lakeside. Last year's grand final, perhaps the only exception to some of the one-sided games we've seen between the... Says all the challenges from Bentleigh were okay, held by the keeper. And now, foul in the centre of the park.
Fashini, yellow card.
Yet another yellow. They're starting to add up. But, thoughts on Monday night? Kingston versus Zinni. Barty Haisoli being readied on the sidelines. South Melbourne's last throw of the dice, perhaps. Daly. Norton. Score here, and it's back on. Norton cuts it in, and it's turned over the bar by Yankovic. Over to Kieran Dover. Can Bentleigh put a full stop on this one? They can't. Dover leaves it behind. Eager. Caught. Yellow card coming up for Matt Thurtell.
We did wonder going into this game how the loss of John Anastasiadis from that 10th place and a relegation spot. So
Foul right at the edge of the box on Monopolis, and yet another yellow card.
Pilkington,
It's almost like
it's his first for tonight. So
filling the scrapbook here. Everyone who hasn't got one's trying to get in on the act. So like a 50-50 ball, and now as stoppage time expires. It's over. Bentleigh Greens are into the Dockerty Cup final, and their pursuit of back-to-back will go all the way to the championship decider. After tonight, the score was South Melbourne 0, Bentleigh Greens 2.
Did we get, lads?
Did we get that?
Well done, boys.